be another one of my episodes for my new show with my friend JR. And he will not be joining me today, but today I will be talking about the playoffs. Some games that have already happened, and some what I think about some games upcoming. Starting in 3 minutes. Right now, it's 2:57. The Rams versus Eagles games will be starting. I will talk about what to expect for that in a minute here. But first, I want to talk about one of the biggest upsets of all season. The Detroit Lions last night, being the number one seed after being the NFC champions in their game against the Vikings, they have just lost to the Commanders 45-31. And one of the worst things that has happened is that in the second half, they only scored 3 points, one field goal. And in these games where the Lions, they need it most, they haven't just showed that they need to win. They're beating themselves here. And Jared Goff, he threw 3 interceptions, and one of those being his last pass of the season, and the other 2 just simply just not making the effort to throw the ball and being athletic to get the ball out. And so he had 3 interceptions, and that is going to result when you're not doing what you need to do. Jameson Williams threw 1 pick 2 when they did a trick play, and then Jared Goff fumbled. I'd like to introduce a special guest, my dad.
Hey, guys.
He will be joining us for a little bit to talk about the playoffs and what to expect for some of these games and some of the previous games and how some of these players have done. So would you like to say anything about the Lions game yesterday?
Sure. Thanks for having me. Naturally, this is a big disappointment and a shocking surprise for all of us Lions fans. Many people much older than me have been waiting their whole lives to see them bring home a championship, and we thought this year we had a chance. Injuries obviously were a huge factor, but the offense and the amount of turnovers, you got to attribute a lot of this to Goff, as much as I hate to say it. You can't have 5 turnovers, 4 interceptions, and a fumble and expect to win a game and give up that many points. So it was just too much. So
I completely agree.
we're still Lions fans, and we're not going anywhere. We're rooting for them always, but it's going to take some time to get over this. So I guess with that said, at the moment, I'm rooting for Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford,
Former Lion.
gave us 12 good years, and he's still in it, and he's a gunslinger. He's got a heck of an arm. He's tough, and he's as capable as anyone left of doing amazing things. So we'll be keeping an eye on him today.
Now, the Commanders were a really team that broke out yesterday with Jaden Daniels just being so calm all game. And then when he gets out there on the field, he's just throwing the ball for little passes at each time and just to move the ball downfield. And they were just accelerating. The wide receivers, the running backs, when they get the ball, they're staying calm and then they're accelerating once they're ready and they find a cut to be open. Terry McLaurin. He had a big breakout game. He had some big passes. He has some big catches. It's a big game for the wide receivers. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he had a huge catch over on one of the plays where he was down the field on like the left side and he got it aired out and he just went crazy. Jaden Daniels was 22 for 31, and each one of those 22 passes that he completed was just another amazing one, moving them downfield. And it's not just the pass that he made, it's what all the wide receivers and running backs and whoever caught the ball, it was what they did after the play that made it so amazing what they could do. Jameson Williams, he contributed to the Lions' turnovers, obviously, but it's just upsetting that the Lions come out here, number 1 seed, don't get to play in the wild card. They get to skip in and then go play the divisional round, and they just blow their chance completely. It's really sad.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about the Rams game that is starting right about now, and the Rams are a very good team. I mean, they're a really good team. Matthew Stafford's super athletic. He knows how to move the ball downfield big time, and he can just get the yards when he needs them most. Jalen Hurts, same for him, very athletic, scrambles a lot. He knows what he's doing.
Matt Stafford's got experience too. He's won a Super Bowl. He's come through in big games, and he's resilient. He's as resilient as they come. He's tough, and like I said, don't count him out. I know they started off this year a little slow. I don't know where they start, maybe 1-5 or something like that. I forget.
Something
But
like that.
but they since that first 6 games of the year, they've been on a tear. So it's going to be a great game today.
I think it will. Looking at the averages here, pretty high for each team, but I think with the outcome of today, the Eagles, man, they're just such a super powerful team in their run game and their passing, what they do. I really think that the Eagles will pull through for what they're doing because they're such a good team. And then Buffalo, man, Josh Allen, he's so athletic. When he played Detroit, I was not happy, man, because I'm a Lions fan. You guys all know that. And when he just came in here and destroyed the Lions, it broke my heart. But he's such a good player. So I think that he's just so athletic. He's gonna get out there and he's gonna do good against one of the best teams, the Ravens. Lamar Jackson. He's so fast. He's better than some running backs in my opinion. I mean, like, he's so fast. He scrambles out of the pocket and he just runs, man. That team is so powerful, and I really don't have a clue on who's gonna win Buffalo versus Baltimore, but it's going to be close, and it's going to be a good one. I'm definitely going to watch that. You got anything to say on these games upcoming?
You said it best, and who's more fun to watch than Josh Allen? He's just an absolute stud, and wouldn't surprise me if they went all the way this year. But you got 4 great teams left, all loaded with talent, and all seem to be playing pretty hot football. So
and with the Lions out of the playoffs and them just not having their best game, I honestly think they could have done better if they were more mentally prepared and they had the right idea of what they were doing, especially on that play when they have 12 defenders out there instead of 11, and just not great communication. They didn't know what they were doing, and they didn't have a good game.
They weren't off to the right start from the get-go, and there's people that are speculating that there was a lot of distraction with the coaches being pursued by other teams, and Ben Johnson and what's his name?
Aaron Glenn.
So I don't know. Who knows what really went on? But it's certainly the wrong time if they were interviewing. There's plenty of time in the off season for coaches and teams to get together, and hopefully that wasn't a factor. But it's water under the bridge. I guess on a positive note, there's a lot of things to look forward to next year. We still got Dan Campbell, we got Goff, we got all these offensive weapons, we got Hutch coming back, and just the core and the nucleus of our team, and expect leadership to do good things in the off season to fill in any holes or weaknesses or changes that might occur.
I mean, just watching Dan Campbell in the post-game press conference, he was crying. Jared Goff, he wasn't even answering questions. And really, that first drive really sets a tone on what might happen. They went out, they were 4th and 13 on their last play on the first drive. They had to punt, and it just wasn't going well for them from the get-go, like you said. They just didn't know what they were doing, and they weren't having their game. If they could have a second chance, I honestly feel like they now have some experience, and they would be better knowing what to do. And I just think that they weren't having their best game, because everybody definitely knows that the Detroit Lions are one of the best teams this season. But sometimes they just can't pull through when they need it most. Let's talk about some games that have already happened, like the Chiefs game. Okay, they had 8 sacks last night. Let's talk about that. 8 sacks. Their defense was on point yesterday. They were getting in there. They were getting C.J. Stroud down. On his last drive, he got hurt, man. He was walking off the field. He couldn't even sustain himself. He He's limping. It wasn't good. I posted a video. I posted a YouTube short on that. And I think what the Chiefs have been doing, sometimes even barely winning. I know that people say the refs carry them, and I believe they do. Like with Jared Goff's hit last night, if where he threw the pick six, if that was Patrick Mahomes, that would be a huge flag call. They didn't even say one thing. So I just think that the Chiefs, they are a good team, and they do get carried a little bit by the refs. But I think that they really showed that maybe they do have some weapons. Maybe they can get in there. Because are the refs going to go out there and play for them? No. Can they call a flag for them? Yes. But when it's obvious, they're not going to do it. So we're going to go see how the last two games will pan out of the divisional round. And this is live right now. You guys can check in for my next live stream. Maybe it will be today. Maybe it will be tomorrow. I don't know. But I'm going to talk about the games that are have happened. So the whole divisional round will be over, and I'm going to say what I think for the AFC and NFC championships, what I think will happen, and I think it'll be pretty cool. So see you guys later.